Oh, it's so good. Hello, welcome to the Protein Works Vegan Protein Extreme Review. I got this 10 days ago-ish, yeah. And I have taken it for lunch as protein oats every day and it's nice. I did get the vanilla flavour and it tastes like vanilla. It isn't particularly sweet. It's sweet, but it's not sweet like a usual vegan protein powder, which I think is a good thing, but obviously that's personal. It also has a somewhat spiced aftertaste. I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's nutmeg. I've looked on the ingredients and there's nothing in it. It must just be an artificial thing, but I don't dislike it, but I wouldn't say it's pure vanilla. I've never actually had it in its pure like protein shake form, so I will try that on camera and we'll see if it's nice. So, good things about the Protein Works Vegan Extreme. It's really nice in oats in terms of the texture. Some can be quite gritty. I don't know if the actual protein powder is gritty. I also used to have protein powder in smoothies and you can definitely tell that there's protein powder in it. You can't in the oats for this one. But what I do like about Protein Works, and I don't think I've ever seen a vegan protein powder company say this. I mean, they do non-vegan protein powder, but they actually say on it, not on the website interestingly enough, but on the packaging it says an earthy and slightly grainy textured shake as you would expect with premium plant-based proteins. Now I read that and I thought that's really cool because plant protein in shakes just is grainy and gritty, and I quite like that they've sort of admitted that. Another benefit, which could be a neutral I suppose depending on whether this is something that you want, this does have added vitamins. It has vitamin C, folic acid, vitamin B12, B6 and pantothenic acid. I don't know what that is. And it also has calcium. I know some people have to be careful with added calcium, but there's only 15% of your RDA of all of those things. So I don't think it's that big of a deal. And I'm just going to look up what pantothenic acid is. I mean, that could be anything. Pantothenic acid. All animals need pantothenic acid in order to synthesize coenzyme A, which is essential for cellular energy production. Oh, I'm fine. It's in potatoes and tomatoes and oats and mushrooms and whole grain. I think we'll be all right without added that, but it's nice that they put it in there. Another pro, I quite like their website. The delivery time was fine. I do have a little conspiracy theory that a lot of the protein powder companies kind of use the same website because they all seem to be very similar. The proteins are different and I've tried a fair few, but the experience seems to be very similar. I don't know if like one started it and they all just copied it, but I do like that it's not just soy protein or pea protein. So it's soy protein and, excuse me, but I'm going to read these off my notes because I can't remember them. We've got pumpkin seed protein, sunflower protein, pea protein, brown rice protein, and soy protein isolate. And they also add flaxseed. This is great, but they don't tell you how much of those is in it. And not that I'm a cynical person, but if it was 95% soy and then 5% the rest of them, I wouldn't be surprised at all. It's not something that bothers me at all, but if you're going to say that it's in there, just put the quantities. So that's kind of a pro, but it could be entirely neutral. Another neutral thing is the price. The price was good. So it's for the Vegan Protein Extreme, it is 59p-ish per shake, depending on how much you buy. I like to buy massive quantities because I take protein oats my lunch every day and it's just nice not to have to buy it very often. I stalked the website after I'd bought it. I don't know whether they ever have their prices on full. So it is one of those where take their sales codes and stuff with a pinch of salt. Prices are good. I usually get the My Vegan Protein and they were a little bit cheaper than that. I would definitely say it was sort of a mid-range price. There are much cheaper protein powders, but they tend to be full of sugar and weird ingredients. The ingredients list for the Protein Works Vegan Extreme is pretty short, actually. Another thing I find equally neutral and hilarious because it's neutral is on the website, and I will put it on the screen. They have this comparison chart. I'm going to have to look at it because I love it so much. So they've got various different protein powders. So there is the Vegan Protein Extreme, they've got the vegan protein, which I've also got, and they've got like a vegan meal replacement shake thing. And they've done a comparison chart, which makes sense. You know, if you're trying to decide which one's for you, then you want a nice comparison chart. But what is on the comparison chart is so it's not even the opposite. It's just not things anybody would be particularly interested in. It's one of these where they've got like a list of stuff and then they tick it if it's got it and a cross if they don't. So they're comparing the vegan protein extreme and the vegan wonder shake. And so they've got multi-plant protein. Yes, again, they don't tell you the proportions of that, but they've all got that. Phased release, we do want that. Premium flavors. So the vegan protein doesn't have premium flavours, the other two do. And then we've got, I actually don't think it matters which ones have these things and which ones don't. The others are multi-award winning, dairy-like taste, and flavour options. If I'm looking to compare vegan proteins, I'm looking at the amount of protein and the price. Maybe the taste, but I don't really care if it's dairy-like. It's not the information that anybody would ever need. And I'm like, somebody spent time on that for no reason. Speaking of the phased release, I think that's an interesting thing to mention because I do think how quickly you digest food massively depends on who you are. But I will say, if you like oats for breakfast and you have the same thing that I get, which is that oats keep me full for a decent amount of time, I would say 4 hours. So I eat my oats and I stay perfectly satiated for those 4 hours, and then I'm absolutely starving and will eat the entire contents of my fridge. But with the protein, I think it keeps me full for the same amount of time, but I don't have that drop off. I feel like I can make better choices when I do get hungry because I don't get from being fine to being absolutely ravenously starving. I wouldn't say that is exclusive to the Protein Works protein, but I've tried both the Protein Extreme and the normal vegan protein, and this one I think keeps me fuller longer. There's only half an hour in it. And I don't like to like name drop, but this one is definitely better than Huel for that specific thing. So I was just editing this video and I realised I hadn't quite explained the differences between the vegan protein and the vegan protein extreme. I do go on later to taste test both of them, but I have to say it's kind of misnamed. You would think that with one of them being a vegan protein extreme, it would have a lot more protein in it, and it actually doesn't. So if you make them up according to the instructions, the vegan protein extreme has 29 grams of protein per serving, and the vegan protein has 25. 4 grams, yeah, except you use more. So for the 59p one, the vegan protein extreme, you get 57 portions. For the 39p one, you get 66 portions, but they were both 2 kilos. So per portion, per shake, the vegan protein extreme is 59p and the vegan protein is 39p. That's assuming that you buy the 2 kilo bag. The less you buy, the more expensive it is. The other main difference is the vegan protein, the normal one, doesn't have the added like B12 and the pantothenic acid thing. However, they do mention that they all have like B6 and stuff in because of the various different proteins they have, but because they don't say how much of those various different proteins they have, I don't actually know how much they've got in. I may as well make a protein shake and try it, and then we'll see what it's like as God intended it to be. I'm sort of regretting filming this here and not somewhere that doesn't have a carpet, because I can just see this all going badly wrong. Right, so for the vegan protein extreme, it's supposed to be 250 to 350 ml of water. So I filled it up to the line. I have no idea how much that is, but it also says mix it until it's the consistency that you want, so we're going with this. And it also says, I'm reading off the wrong packet, add a heaped scoop. Oh God, all over everything. This was a stupid idea. Shake for 10 seconds. Right. Oh, it's foamy. Is that usual? I've never mixed protein powder with water before. nothing. That's curiously off-putting, how fizzy it's gone. If you're laughing at me because I'm a protein shake noob, I'm sorry. Just gonna wait for it to settle a bit. It smells a bit like Horlicks. It smells like custard creams. That's the flavour. It's custard creams. I'm feeling much warmer towards it now. Okay, it's much sweeter in just protein and water form than it is in oat form, which is interesting. I mean, it's not interesting, but you know, it's a thing. I'm surprised they say that it's gritty on the packaging because it is by far the least gritty protein I've ever tasted. I'm actually very impressed. I think I'm actually surprised at how impressed I am. That's very nice. Right, do I drink all this and try that one? No, I could just stir it in a glass. Hang on. Right, let's now compare this one, the Vegan Protein Extreme, with just a regular vegan protein. Now, this one, let's give you your chance to shine. The vegan protein also has the mix of the pumpkin seed protein and all that. It has 25 grams of protein. Is that right? Yeah. This I find a little bit sneaky protein works. This is 25 grams of protein, the other one's 29. But for the other one you have to use, for the Vegan Protein Extreme, you have to use a heaped scoop, which I feel is kind of, it's making it seem like it's higher in protein when actually you're just using a little bit more. I think it does have slightly more protein in it. Maybe not enough to warrant calling it extreme. What I will say about this one is it is delicious. It's the chocolate bueno flavour. Now, the Vegan Protein Extreme also do a chocolate bueno flavour, so I would recommend that over the vanilla one. But if you think the idea of liquid custard creams is good, then go for it. This I'm more excited about trying. But I also realised that the bottle that I got has a very narrow neck, so there is absolutely no way that I'm not going to get even more protein powder in my carpet. But that's okay. It'll vacuum up, I assume. It smells so good. It doesn't smell, it smells like dairy milk. So this isn't a heat spoon, this is just a normal spoon. Proud of that. Doesn't look the most appetising. I'm missing a bit. Hang on. Part of my brain's going to mix them together. So all protein powders are just fizzy. I didn't know that. Oh, it smells so much like a Kinder Bueno. I don't know what it is that, well, I mean, it's clearly water that changes it from smelling just like dairy milk to smelling just like Kinder Bueno. Oh, it's so good. This tastes a lot watery and it doesn't have the depth of flavour that the vanilla one has. But when you put them in oats, it's the opposite. And this one tastes worse. I feel like I've done actual science. I really do want to mix them together. I'm not gonna, I might. This one tastes like water with a bit of flavouring added. This one tastes like somebody's liquefied a custard cream. This one blends better. But that could just be the receptacle in which I made them in. I think what I've learned from this is that I really want to try the Vegan Protein Extreme, but in the chocolate bueno flavour. Because if that had the depth of flavour of this in just the shake form, that would be great. Yeah, I think going forward that would be the way to go. The chocolate bueno flavour in the Protein Extreme, I think, would be the winning combination. Now, so we've gone through what I liked about them. Good in oats, website was good, price is fine, mix of proteins, all that stuff. There is one glaring, massive issue with Protein Works. That is their fault that they need to sort out. They will not leave you alone. I bought these, so that is together 4 kilos of protein powder. I'm one person. The next day they're like, do you want some more? No. Obviously not. Why? I've got 2 flavours. Why would I need more? But it's constant. I was getting so many emails, and I looked on the reviews on the website. I wasn't accidentally singled out. It's just their like marketing thing, and I'm like, stop it. Fair enough, email. Like, I don't mind getting emails. I'm actually quite blind to them. Cult Beauty email me every day, and I just delete them immediately, and it doesn't really bother me. The volume of emails I got in such a short space of time, can't speak, I'm that incensed. When I'd already bought such a vast quantity of protein. It's a little bit like when you buy a printer from somewhere and then they email you the next day and say, oh, you like printers, have a look at this one. Well, but I've got it. Like I came to your website and I bought what I wanted and then I left. And sure, like hit me up in a month and ask me if I need any more. But the day after, like, I'm embarrassed for you. Stop it. But apart from that, I really like it. My usual issues with protein powder is that it is too sweet and expensive for a sort of average product, but for the price and for the taste, nice. I hope you enjoyed this review and found it useful. I will see you next time. Thank you so much for watching. Bye. Yeah, that's horrible.